Coming up, Stellantis postpones layoffs for more than 1,000 workers in Toledo. We look into the sudden change and why it's happening. And Wood County was hit with a ransomware attack earlier this month. What we know about it so far.
And the last of those snow showers that made for a bit of a winter wonderland today are tapering off. I'll have more on your Christmas Day forecast coming up in just a bit. Kaylee.
Thanks for joining us on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Marantet. Let's take a look at your top stories for this Friday night. Plans to lay off more than 1,000 Jeep employees are on hold. It was announced in November that Stellantis was going to lay off employees at Toledo Assembly Complex. According to Stellantis, the company has decided to extend the warn notice of those layoffs. As a result, no employees will be placed on an indefinite layoff starting January 5th. Employees are expected to return to work as scheduled in 2025. UAW Local 12 President Bruce Baumhauer says the changing of CEOs for Stellantis has changed things around.
He knows the business, he knows how to market, he knows how to price our products, and he's already lowered the price on some of our cars, especially our Gladiator. They got a $3,500 rebate on that. They got $3,000 on the Wrangler, and all of a sudden the customers are coming through the showrooms again. They're moving them, and then we got to build more. The more they sell, the more we build, and so I think this whole thing is turning around for us right at Christmas time.
Baumhauer says this should benefit suppliers who were impacted by layoffs as well. Amazon workers are hitting the picket lines for a second day, demanding better pay and safer working conditions. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters Union organized the strike at hubs in several major cities less than a week before Christmas. This is to put pressure on Amazon to negotiate a contract. Amazon officials say the workers are not direct employees of the company and only represent a small fraction of their workforce, so this shouldn't impact holiday packages.
I just want it where I can feel a little bit comfortable, breathe a little easier.
They've made $30 billion last year, 30 billion with a B, so we think they can afford to give us benefits, give us a living wage.
Now, Starbucks workers are also walking off the job at some stores in Los Angeles, Chicago, and Seattle, with their union citing lack in progress of contract negotiations. Yesterday, we broke down new unemployment numbers in Ohio. Now we're getting a look at how the unemployment rate stands for November. For Ohio, the state's unemployment rate is at 4.3%. This did not change from October to November. The U.S. unemployment rate for November is 4.2%. That's an increase from the month before. But the number of unemployed workers in Ohio for last month is 255,000. Wood County agencies are still investigating reports of a ransomware attack last week on government network. Here's what county officials have to say.
Last Monday, Wood County's Emergency Management Agency reported a ransomware attack on the county government's computer network.
We don't know, where the attack started, we know where it's at, which office it originated from.
While emergency services and 911 are still running, third-party cybersecurity consultants are still investigating. Because of the investigation being ongoing, and with it dealing with security and possibly personal information, specifics remain under wraps. Edward Kalanko, the mayor of the village of Walbridge, understands the secrecy, but feels they should be kept in the loop.
Anytime you hear ransomware, you're thinking a lot of personal information, being in the hands of somebody that isn't supposed to have it. That's a concern. And I recognize a lot of that stuff is being held close for obvious reasons. But there could be some level of communication that we're not receiving at this point in time.
Because Kalanko understands that technology is how we store information. And he says the recent attack brings the issue of cybersecurity to the public eye.
These are things that we should be worried about on a daily basis. And unfortunately, this happened at the county level. And it seems like it's pretty broadly affected the county agencies. But yeah, we should be worried, of course, because that's our personal information that's in the hands of somebody else.
County residents likely aren't feeling any immediate effects of the ransomware attack, though emergency services are being handled a little differently than normal. The attack means that officers can't access old records, and new records need to be kept by pen and paper. And county officials, like County Sheriff Foshlishin, says the attack has taught them new ways to safely store sensitive information.
Going forward, I know we're going to do things differently on how we store our data. That's obviously goes without saying that, okay, we've learned some things here. So I don't ever see the entire county ever being down again, or virtually all of the county being down again.
And while there is still no information on how the ransomware struck, county officials are fortifying their defenses and hoping they hear back from investigators soon.
It's a lot of teaching and tutorial and making sure that we're doing the right things. And hopefully the county is, will follow suit with that. And hopefully we can get past this hiccup.
Well, with Christmas only a few days away, your tree is probably covered in ornaments. But have you ever thought about the history of ornaments? The first ever ornaments were made in Europe, where the idea of decorating a tree started in the 16th century. The old-fashioned way of creating these ornaments can still be found in the Czech mountains. It's called purling, a glass-blowing technique.
We are the last company in the world which produces Christmas ornaments from blown glass beads. The tradition still continues in the families.
Today, most ornaments are made with molds and plastic materials. Speaking of traditions, hundreds of students walked the streets of West Toledo as part of a 51-year-old tradition. Students, along with staff at Central Catholic High School, walked from the school to Rosary Cathedral to gather for Mass. They walked down Cherry Street, through the neighborhoods near the school, into the cathedral on Collingwood. The tradition started in 1973, and today 30 alumni throughout the years participated, including 2 from the class of '74.
It's cool that they still are doing it to the 51st day, and I think Denny and I and our other classmates, we're going to try and do it as many years as we can going forward.
We want them to get out of the walls, to be a witness, to proclaim Christ, and to show their faith in a way that is missionary. Especially important this Christmas season as we're called to prepare our hearts in Advent for the coming of our Lord.
The goal of the procession is to show the large group connection within the Catholic faith and with the school and their surrounding neighborhoods. Well, this is the last weekend before Christmas, and according to the National Retail Federation, more than 157 million Americans are expected to head out for some last-minute shopping for Super Saturday. The survey found that more than 69 million people will do a combo of both online and in-store shopping, while nearly 50 million people will shop in stores only. 38 million shoppers plan to buy their autumn items online only. Well, you might be getting those last-minute presents shipped to your house for Christmas, but you might want to make sure those packages are safe. Porch Pirates are out and about and recently hit one house in Maumee. Dominique O'Neill has this story.
We're shocked. We've never had anything like this happen to us here.
That's Stephanie Curris, who lives in Maumee. This is Curris' front porch, where a surveillance video captured this just yesterday.
We considered a pretty nice area. Didn't think we had to worry, especially since our porch is kind of obscured a little bit and not necessarily visible from the street.
But now she says there won't be as many presents under the tree this year, thanks to whoever did this.
I mean, we're those last-minute Christmas shoppers. We ordered everything at once. It was almost $850 worth of stuff, arrived on the same day, so we were pretty shocked for this to happen the day all of our stuff arrived.
The Wood County Sheriff says if you want to try and avoid Porch Pirates, there is a way.
If no one's home when those packages are being delivered, that you have a trusted neighbor or someone that's going to take that package and either take it to their house or bring it in for you.
Even though this Grinch took these gifts, the family is trying to not let it ruin their Christmas.
We're very surprised. I mean, we'll be okay. We'll enjoy our Christmas still, but we definitely want to warn anyone out there who might have gifts coming for children and things like that to try and avoid in any way you can.
If you are expecting some expensive gifts to be delivered, there are steps you can take to try and avoid those Grinches from swiping gifts off your porch. Wood County Sheriff Mark Vasilishin says you can ask a neighbor to grab your package. You can also have it sent somewhere you know it won't be stolen.
When you order online, they always ask certainly what your address is for billing purposes, but you can put in any shipping address you want. So if you have a relative that works from home or a neighbor that's home all the time, ask them, hey, can I have this package delivered to your house? I'll text you when it arrives. They get it off the porch, because there are people that can follow the delivery trucks and pick and choose based on the boxes that are being left, especially if it looks like it might be the size of a cell phone.
The sheriff says cameras can deter criminals, but like you heard, that's not always the case. Well, as temperatures drop below freezing in many states across the country, we know families are looking for ways to stay warm. But when it comes to using space heaters, you should be careful. Our National Verified team verifies a viral claim about the dangers of improperly using space heaters.
If you're thinking about using a space heater during these frigid temps, listen up. Many viral social media posts claim that plugging space heaters into extension cords or power strips could start a fire. But is that true? Let's verify using these sources. Space heaters require a high electrical current, and our sources say most extension cords and power strips aren't designed to handle that. So plugging a space heater into one of those may cause the cord or strip to overheat and cause a fire. Instead, our sources say the safest way to use your space heater is to plug it directly into a wall. But make sure it's plugged in all by itself. The Electrical Safety Foundation says plugging multiple devices into the same outlet could result in the outlet overheating and cause a fire. So we can verify it's true. Space heaters plugged into extension cords or power strips can be a fire hazard. There are other safety tips to keep in mind when using a space heater. Make sure you place it on a level, hard, non-flammable surface, such as a tile floor. If your home is carpeted, invest in a hard surface to place the space heater on. Keep the unit at least 3 feet away from anything that can burn, like fabric or paper. And if you can, don't leave it running overnight. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
If you're going to be away for Christmas, you can check in with your law enforcement office. Many police and sheriff's departments offer vacation checks, like wellness checks on your house. Wood County Sheriff Mark Vasilishin says his deputies are sent out at least once a day to make sure everything is in order for homes. Not only is it a crime deterrent, but they'll also be able to notify residents of any storm damage to their home while they're away. John?
Well, this weekend officially kicks off the winter season, and it is going to be a chilly one with temperatures on the decline throughout the weekend. High temperatures are only going to make it up into the 20s, although there will be some weekend sunshine to look forward to. Over the course of your Friday evening, temperatures have generally been near to above freezing, although if you look north and west of the metro, areas like Williams and Hillsdale counties starting to feel the effects of a cold front that is dropping those temps. The last of the snow showers passing off towards the lake shore and into eastern and north central Ohio, and any additional accumulation is going to be very light and mainly on grassy and elevated surfaces, not those roadways. Areas like Erie and Huron County continue to see that light snow that is ongoing early Friday evening. As an area of low pressure moves off towards the east coast, snow showers will be coming to an end. Hour-by-hour forecast shows you the last of those snow flurries moving off to the east into the evening hours. Looking ahead towards your Saturday morning, in addition to the chill, there is going to be a lot of sunshine. Brighter skies are expected into the weekend. Although temperature-wise, we are only expected to make it up into the mid-20s. Use caution this evening with dropping temperatures. There could be a couple of slick spots, mainly on bridges and overpasses. So we'll call it a yellow light with a few slick spots and a chilly start to the day, although road conditions should be dry for the vast majority of the weekend with partly sunny skies returning. In terms of temperatures, it is going to be a cold start to the day. Those lows are going to dip down right around the 20-degree mark, and I'm expecting afternoon highs that'll be in the mid to the upper 20s. Overall, a cooler weekend on deck. Looking at those weather impacts this weekend, it is going to be a colder feel, so make sure you have the earmuffs and the gloves ready. However, there is going to be a good amount of sunshine. Looking towards Christmas, still expecting that milder trend with white Christmas chances essentially non-existent at this point, and the long-range outlook into the very end of December still trending very mild with highs surging near 50 degrees by the end of that forecast. So what about those white Christmas chances? Unfortunately, does not look like it's going to be happening this year. White Christmas chances with that downward trend have landed themselves at a 0%, and statistically about 1 in 3 years, or about 35% of Christmases, do feature a blanket of snow. However, it is not looking likely this year, with Christmas temperatures simply too mild. We're going to be in the upper 30s to near the 40-degree mark heading into the Christmas holiday, and if anything, we could see a few rain showers. The long-range outlook still looking milder than average, and this is likely to extend not just through the end of December, but also through the start of January as well, with temperatures that'll be above average. Looking towards the start of the holiday week, Monday could feature a few late day showers, so keep that in mind for early holiday travel. Christmas Eve, Tuesday.